Oh, well, it's early in the morning, grab a cup and tune on in. Robert and Dave got that southern charm, let the laughter begin. From the morning funny to Maga Minute, ain't no better way to start your day the southern way, with a little joke and pray. We're just southern folks talking southern things, front porch swinging where the church bells rang. From Mama Said to Hump Day News, we keep it real with down-home views. Sunday morning in the Word, get that gospel flow. Prayer time calls, so let's let our troubles go. Come Monday night, Mama Said is bringing the truth. And when it's night talk with Dave, man, you know it's getting loose. We're just southern folks talking southern things, stories and sports where the good times hang. From SFP News to I Remember That, we tell it like it is, and that's a fact. Got our veteran of the week, gotta show our pride. Pets of the week, bringing love worldwide. Talking paranormal, digging true crime. Southern fried stories all the dang time. So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give them a hand? So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give them a hand?
Hey folks, Dave in the AM here for the Southern Fried Podcast and the Cornbread Nation. Hey, we appreciate your support of the Southern Fried and all that it does. As you know, we recently partnered with Patriot Mobile. We could not be more excited to be a part of any affiliate. We love all our affiliates. Patriot Mobile is a cut above. They are so awesome. They love America. And I tell you what, they've got some special recognition coming that we want to honor and give you, again, the information that you need to make the switch that will help yourself, help America, help a great company, and you help the Southern Fried. You know, as Patriot Mobile, who loves the country, as we all honor D-Day, we remember the extraordinary bravery of the American heroes who landed on Normandy's beaches to secure the freedoms that we enjoy today. Their courage echoes in the service of our military, veterans, and first responders. Patriot Mobile is proud to stand with those who protect our freedom. As America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, we are not only offer reliable nationwide coverage on all three major networks, but we also support veterans by donating a portion of every customer's bill to organizations like Folds of Honor, Tunnel to Towers, Soldier Strong, Carry the Load, Warrior Rising, and more. Switching is easy with our 100% U.S.-based customer service team. You can keep your phone, keep your number, or upgrade, and get connected right from the comfort of your own home. Every call you make supports those who have given so much for our country. Make the switch today. Use that promo code Cornbread, and you will be glad you did. You'll be supporting, again, a great American company. You'll be supporting the Southern Fried, and yes, our heroes. God bless the American soldier. God bless America, and yes, God bless you. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Southern Fried Podcast here on a hump day. I'm Rob. That's Dave. We're here to start your day off right. Good morning, Michael. Dave, how are you this morning?
Well, I'm all right. You know, I was telling you off the air. It's a tough day. Last night, my sister contacted us. I was pretty upset, and her husband's whole department is being eliminated. I don't know who's going to do the work that they did, but 90 people gone, including her husband's job. I'll try to get more info in the next 24 to 48 hours. But what I would say is pray for them. They are patriots. They are Christian. They love this country. And my sister right now has a job with the VA in the call center. But Frank's job is gone. And that's hard. We've been praying hard about it, praying for God's will and everything else. And just pray for them. I hope that, things can turn out around pretty quickly, or they'll have to sell their home. It's they got bills just like anybody else. So for the next little bit, he has a paycheck coming, but after that, and there's more to the story, but she was honestly so upset she just couldn't share. She just asked for prayers, and that's what we're going to do. So anyway, there's not just him. We know him. But there's, fellow team members and stuff that are a part of that too. And so I don't know.
We'll keep them under prayer.
They were already trying to figure out how they felt like the department would go from 90 to 30, and they were trying to figure out how they would get all that work done that they do. I don't know who's going to do it now, because they didn't even go down to 30 people. They went to 0. So I don't know.
Well, as we saw about the Patriot Mobile there, we just played an ad for them going into June here. I just want everybody to know I swapped my personal phone over to Patriot Mobile as well. And I did speak to someone that spoke English in the process. She was amazing. There was no accent for me to try to figure my way through. And, the whole process was amazingly easy. I opted to get a actual physical SIM card. It was here within 2 days. And that evening, it just took a little bit of time, and boom, I was there. So it's just a simple process. It transfers everything over on your phone. You don't have to worry about that. You don't lose anything. You just swap out a SIM card. And they even send you the stuff to do it with.
I love this company. I mean, they love America. They're given to veterans causes. They love God, and they are tremendously. I mean, they make you feel good. I mean, getting an email from them it's not generic. I mean, they talk to us individually, and if contact us, please. If there's any questions we can answer, let us help you. We're here for you, and it's just amazing partnership. And I can't wait to see this just really take off and grow in the next few months. I just love them.
I got this neat sticker from them, because I identify as a patriot. And I even sent me a copy of the Constitution of the United States.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely all print, but it's all there. But how many companies do that anymore? And these are, and when I got done, you know what she told me? She said, "God bless you. Have a blessed day."
Yeah. That's
God bless you too. I mean, it's a Christian.
I mean, we're blessed. I mean, we got Mammoth Nation is another great company like that. I mean, we're just blessed. Our affiliates are really amazing. So, especially those two. I mean, just simply amazing.
Yes. So, hey, y'all check out Patriot Mobile. Use that promo code Cornbread. Get your first month free. I did.
Yeah, and during June, believe there's we just got the information in last night and quickly put the video up. I believe during June there's also a special for the month of June. I believe you can get even the activation fee waived. That's amazing.
Wow.
And then there's the referral program that they kicked off too for you. If you refer people and they go there, I mean, you're getting money to be used on your bill or towards the purchase of a new phone every time somebody refers. So as cheap as their prices are, I mean, you could be referring people and not paying anything, honestly.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about, you say I'm not a salesperson. It sells itself. I mean, what's not the law?
Well, I mean, I got double the data that I had, so, I'm figuring, it's very reasonable, the only reason why I up my data is because we're going to be doing festivals, stuff like that. I want to make sure I got plenty of data on my phone, but, yeah, it was the most affordable way to go about it too. So,
and loving on our military and submitting to those causes. I mean, a couple of those I'm not even familiar with. I'm going to go research them. There's two of them I know very well. Folds of Honor I know, and there was another one there, but there's a couple there I'm going to go look up.
Tunnels to Towers was the other one.
Do I?
Tunnels to Towers.
Yeah, Tunnels to Tower. I know them. There's a couple there. I'm not even. I need to get more acquainted with them.
Yeah.
So they're actually teaching me something.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
So y'all go by and check out some Patriot Mobile. Use that promo code Cornbread.
Absolutely.
So, all right.
Hey, birthdays today. Angelina Jolie is 49 years old today. 49 years old. Russell Brand, who's in and out of the news, sometimes positive, sometimes others. He is 49 years old today. King George III, obviously not been around for a long time. Today was his birthday. So happy birthday to any of you that has a birthday on this June the 4th, 2025. Happy birthday to you. There's only 365 of them. Somebody's got to have a birthday. So just a couple.
There's only 365 days in a year. Everybody got to have a birthday there somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And another great company, we mentioned Mammoth Nation. They're doing a half price on their lifetime membership. They've cut that in half for the month. Well, I don't know if it's the whole month, but I know for right now, during this week. I don't know if it lasts the whole month, but for this week, they've slashed their lifetime membership in half. Jump on it if you are thinking anything about going to Mammoth Nation. You're not losing anything. You're going to gain if you're going to be using them as a source, and I do. And Rumble, go get you some Rumble. We're in their creator program. Awesome folks, awesome friends, all of our friends. Think about all of our friends on Rumble that have been there for us to help us, encourage us. Before I got deep in the box last night in our sports show, Killer Carr was coming by and saying hey, and we appreciate him. And last night, it wasn't James. I was trying to think of who was on the air with him. Oh, Big Tony, another creator. I know Tony just a little bit. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him a lot yet, but we will. Of course, remember Steve, he will be on with us tonight for our first Wednesday of the month. Joins the crew of the Southern Fried.
This poor little thing here, he's just so depressed. He's just needing some love this morning. And he's just absolutely been underfoot. You can't see this little snot, but he's just smiling to beat all right now. Yes, and if you ain't never seen a cat smile, that's what it looks like right there. Oh, him happy kitty. Yeah, you got to be up here and annoy the snot out of daddy. It'd be all right. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's just look at him, Dave. He's just being a great old big baby this morning. Look at there. You know, they told me earlier today yesterday, that he wants back on the air probably tomorrow. He's got some stuff he needs to talk about, and he's going to talk to our good friend, one of them we just mentioned, the angry conservative. He's got some stuff to say to him. There's some stuff that he's talking about that's just absolutely upsetting this poor little guy right here. So I'm going to let him tell him all about it. Are you ready to get down now? I'm going to do it. I'm going to let him just talk to James, just tell him all about it. Might have something to say about El Camino as well.
That would be empty pockets. Don't say angry conservative.
Oh, empty pockets. I'm sorry. What did I say?
Yeah.
Conservative.
Well, you'll have angry conservative up here going, hey, from the great state of Alabama. What did I say?
Oh, sorry.
Well, they're both Ohio guys.
Yeah, I mean, and they look a lot alike. Well, I don't know if they actually look a lot alike or not, but you know, to Chuck they do. You know, between them two and Steve, I see a lot of resemblance there. You reckon they might actually be family up there? It's Ohio. They're all from Ohio.
I'm not going there.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Because I don't like the direction that it's going.
How straight are them Ohio family trees up there? You know, love you guys. You know I do. You know I do.
Hey, folks, on the serious side, there's a couple things that are simmering really hot. Of course, we know the Russia-Ukraine situation, kind of where that goes. This tit for tat. The Ukrainians hit the Crimean bridge. Russia's been retaliating. That's getting ugly every day. We've got just as big a battle right here in the USA over the spending bill. And now Elon Musk has come out and said some very strong things against it. There's a number of senators, and they're wanting things changed. And Elon calls it he says it's going to plunge the nation into debt slavery. He calls it an abomination, a disgusting abomination. As the White House defends it, people are not happy because it pushes the debt. They say it's a short-term dive deeper to debt. Others are not so sure. I don't know the math on it, but everybody agrees that it, yes, does add more debt. And they say, no, we got to cut. So I don't, in its present form, the president doesn't have a snowball's chance of getting this passed right now because he has a very thin margin. And there are enough senators, and they know they got the vote, so they're going to have to do some cuts in this thing. Or it'll never get passed. It'll never get passed to the president's desk. So this is all part of how our country works. It's not unusual, but he's going to have to. They'll have to come to agreement. They'll slash some things and then bring it back and see if they can't get an agreement that he's happy with before it goes. But he says he has to have it to set his agenda for the first part of the term. Others say we're not doing it. So it's a showdown among the Republicans. It's not the Democrats. Of course, they were going to vote against it anyway, but he doesn't have the votes to get it to that point. So
yeah,
I don't know. He's not the only one saying it, Michael. That could be true. Put it on screen so people know what we're talking about. But he's not the only one.
No, he's not.
There are a number of Republicans, veteran Republican Senate leaders say, no way. So That could be true. But I'm just saying he said it as well. But the one I don't mean this a bad way. He don't count. He doesn't have a vote. But the ones who have a vote, there's a number of them that say they'll never sign off on this. So it's going to have to have some adjustments made, or it'll never get to his desk. Now, and here's the thing. This is all part of the Potomac 2-step that goes on. You're going to have, he has, but he's still, and the president even says he's still there, going to help and all that. Yep. But that's a whole separate issue. But I do believe he's against this. I think he's against that debt deep down. I mean, let's face it, he is a business owner. I mean, he is someone that has said, let's cut, I get the point. If you're cutting people's jobs over here and saying you're saving money, but you dive the nation deeper into debt, that doesn't have a good look, especially where we're at. I mean, you put the debt clock up, and it's over $36 trillion. The debt tracker, rather, $36 trillion. And there's just a number of senators that are not going to. They're not going to sign off on it. So it's just not going to happen. And I get it. I do. I'm just saying he's one of the chorus. He does sway. He does have influence.
Yeah.
People listen. A lot of people listen to him.
Yeah.
But this is that Potomac 2-step.
Okay. Here's an interesting cartoon we had come out, and I want to share this. It's off Fox News. And there you go. Our national debt, $36 trillion. And the Republicans are saying it's very complicated. And the Democrats are saying it's very difficult. And the poor little girls say, cut spending. You have to cut spending. If you don't have it, you can't spend it. And until we actually cut spending, we can't really move forward. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you cannot borrow your way out of debt. We can't. Businesses can't. The country can't. You can't borrow your way out of debt.
No.
You have to stop spending on something. Oh. So, there's all these people in government that have their pet little projects that they like to dump money into. You got to quit. All of you. Not just Democrats, not just Republicans. Get off your little pet things and let's move forward as a nation. The only way we can do that is we have to knuckle up, tighten down, and quit spending money on stuff. We got to quit bailing other countries out. Look, how much money do we send out? And I would like to get this figure. How much money does the United States spend on bailing other countries out every year? Every year. How much money do we just give away? Give it away. Why? Why? Why are we going to pull ourselves down to their level? Look, we got our own issues that we have to deal with, and we need to deal with them. I know. We have a global economy. Yes, we do. But it's not our job to bail these other countries out. Let them go get their own loans. Let them put themselves in debt. We're already there. We can't go much more. We've done all we can do. It's time for us to take care of ourselves. And I know that sounds selfish to a lot of people, but it's not selfish. That's the way life works. You cannot give everything you have to someone else and then expect to be successful. It don't work that way. Dave, if you need something from me, I'll give it to you. But if I give you everything I've got and I can't afford to put groceries on my table, whose fault is that? And that's kind of a cold way to put it, but hey, I'm just saying. You know? So, I mean, it needs to be a wake up call. And some of the stuff that they're getting all in a huzzy and their favorite little things out there, you know, cutting those 90 jobs didn't help nothing as far as the deficit goes. It didn't. I saw a thing yesterday where they were talking about if they didn't pay all the Congress, the senators and the representatives and stuff, they would make about 24 minutes different on the debt clock for the year. 24 minutes if we didn't pay any of them. So you think these 90 people over here getting paid more than them senators and representatives in Congress? How much did that save? Seconds?
The administration also says they're not going to recognize Pride Month, and they are renaming a ship that was named after a leader in that movement. They're going to strip that name off. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth says, and rename it. More news from the month that is coming out.
I think we got enough stuff to worry about without worrying about renaming ships right now.
Well, they're stripping a name off of it that is associated with Pride.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's just news. I'm not.
Yeah. It's not pride in the country they're talking about.
Some more things. They say the General Clark says that the attack on the Crimean bridge, is pretty significant. I'm still waiting to hear exactly how much damage is done there. They damaged the underwater pilings, so I'm not exactly sure. They may be able to use it somewhat, or it's going to impact them, no doubt. So, Russian response is still heavy. I believe Kyiv is going to come under a tremendous attack by the Russians. I really do, as a retaliatory. Uglier and uglier.
Yes.
And the delegation from Ukraine's over here asking for more money and resources.
Okay. There again, it comes a point in time to where you just got to kind of let nature take its course. You know, and I know some of these other countries are helping them, and that's all well and good. They don't help them more. Let them go into debt, helping them.
Counting the total troop casualties in that war, there's a study that finds it is nearing 1.4 million casualties, counting both sides.
Yeah.
That's pretty daggone significant. That's a lot of injuries, a lot of deaths. Pretty amazing.
I heard the other day that there were something like 10,000 Korean troops over there.
Yeah, it's about 11,000. They've lost quite a few. They've had to replenish. A lot of them got killed, the first group. Several thousand, about 3,000 something, I think, were killed. It's bloody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do believe, Michael, that he does have to go or there'll never be peace there. I'm convinced of it. Zelensky's not going to agree to any peace deal.
I'm also pretty much thinking that Putin is not going to give him the option for any peace deal. Not that Zelensky would agree to it.
Well, he's put two versions out there of what he would want. Of course, it asks for the moon, but he says if they'll agree, he has two different options. Basically, what he wants that land that he has still not quite got all of it, that he said that he wanted. He wants to be part of Russia. He wants Russian language to be on the same par as any Ukrainian language in the country recognized. He wants a limit on how big the military can be in Ukraine. He wants a signed agreement that they will not even attempt to enter NATO. He wants elections. Zelensky gone, basically. New elections, and as he calls it, the removal of the Nazis in the government. So that's kind of what that's several points of what he's put out there that he wants.
So basically, he wants them to take a knee.
Well, right where they're at, and they will no foreign military on their soil, et cetera, et cetera.
It'll be interesting to see how it works.
Zelensky will never agree to that, so this war will continue on. I don't believe there's no peace deal going to be. There's no ceasefire going to happen. They are agreeing on injured soldiers, prisoners of war stuff to be swapped. Ukraine has demands too. In their demands, they did list the children. Russia said nothing about the return of children.
No.
So it's just going to continue on.
Wow.
I don't. They can meet all they want. Unless a miracle happens, I don't think there's any agreement that will occur. It's going to have to come through. What'll happen is and I do predict this. I think that the Russian strategy is, because it really is their forever strategy. They don't change. They will keep pummeling Ukraine into submission. At some point, the people will just Zelensky will be out. We'll just say that. Zelensky will be forced out. The people, it'll just be such. I mean, I really believe, I was saying last night on the MAGA report, I really believe early in the war, Russia went for the throat. They didn't quite make it. You remember they hit all those parts they were hitting. But remember, they were on the road to Kyiv. They had all the military hardware, tanks, trucks, supplies, troops, all that. I believe they were going to encircle Kyiv and pummel it until Ukraine cried uncle. But got to give the Ukrainians credit, and we were helping with intelligence, I'm sure. But they struck them, and they struck them hard. They hit them really hard. They lost a lot of tanks, a lot of men, a lot of hardware, helicopters, the whole deal, and they had to back out. And from then on, it's just been their tactic as always. So what they did is they just pummeled all the towns closer to their border, Mariupol and towns like that. They absolutely destroyed them. They just kept hammering them until there wasn't a building left standing. And that's what they'll do to Kyiv. I think that's now what they'll attempt to do is just get closer and pummel Kyiv, because they're making advances in regions. They can get within region to do that. I think that's the plan. And just force him out and force Ukraine into submission. Unless other militaries join in, then Katie barred the door, then where it would really open up at that point. I don't know that would happen, but that's the Russian way. They encircle your town, cut off supplies, and just pummel you into dust.
Yeah, it's been their way for a long time.
It's the way they fight.
Well, think about this. If Ukraine does not get what they want out of this, and we have to go with one of these Russian things, they're just so bad for Ukraine. Where is all this money we've sent over there? What has it gone to?
Well, a lot of that money, who knows where it's at? I mean, they did. Yeah. We are paying the salaries of all Ukrainian government positions, the retirement funds, all that. It's all being paid by us right now. Ukraine doesn't have the means to pay for that. I would say we're probably keeping the electricity on, to be honest. But a lot of that money's went missing. Of course, there's no accounting. I don't know if some of it went to buy hardware, or I don't know if all that was just given or loans.
Oh, there ain't no guarantees on none of that money.
No,
if they lose, we're out it anyway.
Yeah, there goes your mineral deal, because you're not going to make an agreement with Russia.
No. So that probably didn't help their cause any. It's just it's a wash. We need to get our hands out of that one. It's a wash. Russia's going to do what they're going to do. They're not going to stop. I don't care what agreements they have. I don't think they're going to stop until Putin gets exactly what Putin wants.
He pretty much, in that visit by Tucker Carlson to Russia, he pretty much spelled out his plan, what he wants. He wants a return of that part of the motherland. He wants Ukraine to not have any association with the West. Puppet state, basically.
Yeah.
And he's not going to accept anything less.
He's not. There ain't no way.
So the carnage goes on.
Yeah.
Working on 4 years. Wow.
Now, I don't know what the right answer is in that, but I still think there comes a point in time where we have to take our hands out of it.
Amen.
I mean, I hate to see them fall. I do. I would. They have put up a good fight. But, a lot of stuff led up to this war. In my opinion, with the oligarchs and everything else they had over there. And Joe Biden was doing a lot of business with them to start with. And I'm wondering if that's one of the reasons why he kept right on funding and kept right on shoveling money down their throats, throwing money at them. I wonder how rich they made him. I wonder if it was even him that was doing it. We don't know that. It could have been somebody else up there, one of his staffers or something, using an auto pen or whatever, and just keep shoveling money right down. And there is no accounting for that. How much of that money came back to Biden? How much of that money came back to funding Democratic elections or funding the Democrats? How much of that money came back? There's no accounting on it. We don't know what they did with it. Some of the stuff they said they did with it, but we don't know what they did with it. And I think a lot of stuff here is like everything else that they talk about out there. Follow the money. Follow it. And now we ain't got the means to do that. So we need to just get our hands out of that mess. Because it's buttering up to be a big old crap sandwich, and we done eating all of that we need to eat.
And there is reports coming out of that area that, the Russians are making advances on the ground. They took another village. They're hammering now. Again, that's their model. The city or the city of Sumy, that region, and they are hammering it right now. They carried out a number of attacks, shelling it. They're in range of it now. And they have carried almost 150 shelling attacks on 47 settlements in the region in the 24 hours leading up to Tuesday morning. They have captured some territory. It's a deep and long front that they're on right now. And they believe the Ukrainians are saying they are getting further and closer in range to some other areas, and they will be able to launch more coordinated attacks on Sumy City. They're evacuating civilians from that region, and they not even sure what the population is of that area. I'm sure some have already left because some of them left before the war even began. It was home to about 250,000 people at one time. So they're within about 20 kilometers of Sumy City.
Wow.
And this area, the conditions are just continuing to deteriorate because it's just a constant pressure of bombing and large numbers of infantry that followed that up. So they're making advancements.
Yeah.
It added this report that the Ukrainian forces are unable to combat the Russians' use. We mentioned this in also a recent report. The Russians have an advantage right now in the field, and it's the fiber optic drones. They don't go as long, but they're actually connected. they're deadly because you can't jam the signal because they're connected to a pilot, which is on the ground, and they can push these things out for several miles. And they can just hover up there, and they have the camera capability on the ground, and they can just look for enemy targets. And so troop movement is very hard because you're like under constant surveillance. And then when they see you, then they can just go in and set off the bomb.
Yeah.
There's reports, a picture I saw that other planes are putting tires. The Russians are putting tires on top of the planes that are still on tarmacs. There was a satellite image of this yesterday. But those fiber optic drones, which cannot be jammed for the most part, I don't think they can be jammed. And the Ukrainians have been able to avoid a lot of the drone attacks up until this point. The Ukrainians are trying to build these, but they're behind. They're really behind it. They're trying to amp up production. But the Russians have an advantage right now on the ground with the use of these.
Wow.
Zelensky had warned last month that Russia has amassed more than 50,000 troops near that Sumy region. Ukrainian forces, meanwhile, are stretched across multiple points on the front lines from the northern border to the Black Sea. The Russian forces have recently intensified ground assaults and brought in several experienced brigades, including airborne troops. The Ukrainian military spokesman said Russian forces aim not to just enter and create a so-called buffer zone of 20 to 30 kilometers deep, but to completely capture the Sumy region. Well, that's kind of what's going on the front lines in the war right now.
They are in a situation now where they're going to have to do something. And if they're not willing to do something or give in to some of these demands, but it doesn't matter what they give in to. It doesn't matter. Until Putin gets exactly what Putin wants, he's not going to stop. He's not. And I don't believe he would.
Now, the Ukrainians did create some problems for Russia. Obviously, they hammered a heavy percentage of their long-range bombers, jamming, signal planes that can jam signals and all that, because they hit them on that was a successful mission. They hammered that bridge, which also limits their ability to move supplies and troops and things across through Crimea on the bridge connection between Russia soil and Crimea. And because of the use of the trucks to carry the drones, now they're checking all these trucks, so it's creating massive traffic jams throughout Russia as they're searching these trucks now because they're afraid there's more of this headed their way. So now it has slowed down normal, movement of goods and services. You can imagine in America, if you started stopping every 18-wheeler that's coming across the land or flatbed or whatever and searching it to make sure that there's not, you can imagine those lines would get long pretty quick. So It has created problems for Russia inside of Russia for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, General Sherman, I may not like him, but he had it right when he said war is hell. And it is.
And you got two warmongers there. They're just bound and determined they're going to keep this thing going.
Oh, well, they're partied up, Oh, yeah. What a coincidence. They're hot bath buddies over there celebrating the attack. That's a good look for America.
Yeah.
Just coincidentally show up supposedly for peace talks. That was a ruse. They didn't expect nothing out of that. They just set that up so they could bring in the senators because they're the ones pushing for more war, and they could get them in the war room and watch the ongoing operation. That's what I believe was going on. That peace meeting, that was all a ruse. They didn't expect nothing out of that. It didn't last but an hour. That's it. Well, boys, we can't get nothing accomplished. We'll see you next time.
Yep. See you next time. We're going to attack over here.
Yeah. Lindsey Graham. How's this guy keep getting elected in South Carolina? It just amazes me.
the same way, you know, Gavin Newsom got elected, you know, Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi and Bernie Sanders, you know. I just do the same thing. So, all right, let's see what else we have going on today.
And you know, Lindsey is pretty tight, and I've always liked him, but the great one, Mark Levine, from the very early stages of this war, he's been for it too. He wants Russia to be hit. He believes this is helping America, and he has said some things in the recent days too that people have been upset about. But he has said to, you know, Lindsey Graham on quite a bit, and they are definitely lockstep in an agreement on this. But there's, you know, he really pushes for this. He really pushes for that to happen. So I don't know.
No, either.
You're right, Broski Bear. You're right. Well, he can't, but the city can. As Kyiv is being pummeled, he will get it. He will have a getaway to his summer or winter home, wherever that is. Some say he's got a home in Miami, $5 million worth of home, paid for by, yes, the American taxpayer.
Mm-mm.
You know it was. Just makes you feel good, don't it?
Oh, yeah.
Not. And then on the third front or fourth or wherever we're at, there's still the issue of Iran and nuclear weapon, and can they get an agreement there? There's a lot going on, a lot. President Trump has his hands full with foreign diplomacy right now.
Yep.
Had a good time last night with the Southern Fried Racing Hour. Dean in the house. Mom put the big smackdown on her boy Dean. It was beautiful. It's funny. Caught him totally off guard. I thought it was hilarious. We had a good time last night. James had to work. Thursday afternoon, 6 p.m. The sports show will air. I think all three of us will be back in studio. We talk all sports all the time. We don't have seasons. We just have sports. Yeah. It won't be long till the college football is gearing up again.
Yeah, we can get our dogs. We can talk about them.
Got baseball going on. Got playoffs, hockey. We got NASCAR about halfway through. Lots to talk about. You know, hockey has an interesting tradition. You know, the Stanley Cup, and they carry that thing around, put beer in it, drink out.
You know, I don't think I'd want to drink after some of those guys that I've seen as hockey players. Just don't think that would be very sanitary. Not saying that they can't do it if they want to, but you know, yeah, we're still not seeing anybody really going after Hakeem Jeffries for his Nazi salute.
Poor Booker.
I'm sorry. Why do I keep saying Jeffries on that?
Well, he's usually out front for the Democrats. So.
Yeah. Booker, nobody's saying anything about it. Nobody's reported on it. Why? Why? Y'all spent, weeks on it when Musk made the same gesture. Now he does it, and you can't even be bothered to report. This is our unbiased and completely honest legacy media here. Oh, they're totally unbiased. Oh my gosh, look at this. How dare I even say something like that? That they wouldn't be, that they were going to be unbiased on this. They were going to be biased on this. How dare me? We know they're going to report on it equal amount of time, right? The fact that it's their own party, has nothing to do with the fact that they're not reporting on it. It's got to be something else. Maybe they're just piss poor reporters. Or maybe the state government or that's running them has told them, hey, don't report on that. Y'all keep drinking the Kool-Aid out there and don't pay attention to this stuff. I'm telling you, it's happening every day. And if you want to know what they're doing and what state is telling them to report on and what they're doing, just look at what they're accusing everybody else of doing. Because they're doing some pretty low down stuff out there. But keep drinking that Kool-Aid, y'all. But I tell you what, I am going to say this. Hey, your local elections are coming up. And as Americans, we need to make a big stand. All this stuff in government, it starts at local level. And it affects you directly. You need to get out there and vote. Everybody. I don't even care who you vote for. Get out there and vote. Get your voice heard. We're trying to start a push in on that. And we can't, emphasize enough the importance of voting. Everybody. And these local elections affect you. And nobody wants to vote in local elections. Oh, they're just diddly local elections. I'm going to vote in the presidential election. Well, guess what? That presidential election, it affects you. It don't affect you as much as that local election does, though. That's just going to set your taxes. That gum. All your local taxes and stuff like that, that comes right there. Your school board, your county superintendent, all that stuff comes right there. And it's our God-given right in this country to get out there and vote. And we won't do it. So we'll let somebody else use our voice and speak for us. That's sad, y'all. That is sad. Speak for yourself. Your old parent. Get out there and vote. There's Dave, the Celtic blacksmith, coming in hot with the wounds. Yes. I can do that too. The wee wounds. Oh. So yeah, get out there and vote. Vote your locals. Nobody wants to do that no more. It don't affect us. Good. All right. Well,
I will be helping in one of those local elections in 2 weeks. It's Public Service Commission. There's only like 2 things on the ballot. We'll have another one later. This is the primary. This is not a big year. Next year is the big year. There are some things out there. There are some things to vote on. More local. Depends on your area. But next year it'll be big. There's several important state governors that will change due to term limits. Alabama, Georgia, Florida, among them. Tommy Tuberville, former Auburn coach, is running for governor of the state of Alabama. He has been a senator, obviously, for a few years now. I think he's got a decent shot, to be honest. He's built a pretty good base. But we'll see. Kay Ivey will not be running. DeSantis can't run. So I don't know who the early leaders there. Brian Kemp. So we'll see who runs.
Maybe DeSantis moved across the line into Georgia.
There's a lot of money going to be spent on these three races. A lot. Especially Georgia's, because Georgia is seen as they're trying to turn Georgia blue.
No.
They think they've got a shot this time.
They're trying to turn Georgia into Atlanta. Oh, could you imagine? You would say
Stacey Abrams, your next governor of the state of Georgia, for not careful.
Rush your mouth. Don't you be on here cussing like that. Oh, don't you do it. Oh my God. Oh, don't you repeat it either. Oh my gosh. You cannot come on this morning show using that kind of language. I'm going to put my foot down. Yeah, Chuck. Chuck's up here saying that's horse crap too. Quit it. Oh, don't you let those words, the next governor of the state of Georgia, come out your mouth at the same time. Don't you do it. No.
Well, if you don't get out and vote, that's your next governor.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll vote. I know, Chuck. Chuck's up here telling you to stop. Got his feet up here on my leg, looking up at the screen, going, tell him stop, Dad. Tell him stop. I did. I told him. Oh my God. That was horrible. Dude, I threw up a little. I did. I threw up a little. Chuck said he threw up a lot. My gosh. He probably yacked up a hairball over there. Y'all get out there and vote so we don't ever have to hear that and even think about that.
Well, here is your early look at the state of Georgia and governor candidates or declared or has shown interest. On the Republican side, declared Chris Carr, the Georgia Attorney General, 2016 to present, has declared his intentions to run for the governor. Burt Jones, Lieutenant Governor, currently has expressed public interest. Kelly Loeffler, she's the Small Business Association Administrator for President Trump and a former U.S. Senator. Potential, Brad Raffensperger, Georgia Secretary of State. Potential, Marjorie Taylor Greene is listed as a potential. She is the U.S. Representative of the 14th District. Declined. Andrew Clyde, a U.S. Representative from Georgia's 9th District, has declined. Democrat side, candidates declared. Jimmy Brown, a church founder. Jason Estevez, state senator from the 6th District. Derek Jackson, a state representative, and a candidate for lieutenant governor in 2022. Keisha Lance Bottoms, former director of the Office of Public Engagement and former mayor of Atlanta. Publicly expressed interest. Stacey Abrams, founder of the Fair Fight Action, former minority leader of the Georgia House of Representatives and nominee for governor in 2018 and 2022. Lucy McBath, that's a district that Marjorie Taylor Greene used to be in before she moved. 6th District. She is a potential or expressed interest. Mike Thurman, former DeKalb County CEO and Labor Commissioner of Georgia formerly. Potential, Van Johnson, Mayor of Savannah. Declined, Jason Carter, former state senator from the 42nd District. Right now, that is your dudes and dudettes.
I don't see how Stacey Abrams could ever really, really have a shot to succeed in this because
but she came within 200,000 votes. It was pretty dang close. We'll go back and look at that polling data. I'm telling you, dude.
I'm sorry. I should have get my opinion.
No, I'm just saying that those were tight races.
but she didn't succeed, and that's twice now. That's the point that I was making. I know they were close races, but she ran in both of them, and she lost both of them. And usually, if you lose two, people, their support starts slipping away. How is she still hanging on to that kind of support? That's the thing. I mean, it doesn't seem like it ought to be. She ought to be hanging on to that kind of a support group. So she done tried and failed twice. Even if it was close, she still failed. All right. Well, it's 7:00.
Don't forget, folks, tonight, Hump Day views. Hump Day views. Steve-O in the house.
Yes. All right.
Steve-O, Celtic Blacksmith.
Yes. All right. You got anything else you want to talk about, Dave?
Nope, I'm headed to work. I'm going to talk about work.
Y'all have a great day.
Oh, well, it's early in the morning. Grab a cup and tune on in. Robert and Dave got that southern charm. Let the laughter begin. From the morning funny to Maga Minute, ain't no better way to start your day the southern way with a little joke and pray.